Marshy Morgan, and I wrote 13 interactive challenges to self-discovery and grandparent memories from the heart. Now, this whole channel, Fly Like an Eagle Today, M&M Business Solutions, is about tips and tricks, and I hope that you'll help me out and subscribe. But today, what we're talking about are Q&A questions and how to handle those tricky ones. So I'm getting the information from How to Write and Give a Speech by Joanne Diaz. This came out in 1984, and you might be going, well, gosh, that's ancient, that's old, that has nothing to do with anything. Well, let me tell you, this book right here is chock full of good information if you have to give a speech or a presentation. Now, of course, the technology isn't there. That's way before cell phones, but the content is good. Now, one of your bonuses today is, where did I get the book? Well, I'm a member of the library and friends of the library. And so I normally go to the book sale and get lots of good books. However, if you are not aware, Half Price Books and Records has an outlet. That is correct. You heard me right. Half Price Books and Records has an outlet. And I found one in Waco, Texas. And I got this book for $1. Okay. And you know, if you're following me on this channel at all, I'm always about how to save money. So, how to handle special problems in Q&A. Now, this has got to be the most difficult part for me sometimes, is the Q&A, because you're like, oh, what if I don't know the answer? I don't know what they're going to throw at me. What curveball? So, what happens if no one asks you a question? Well, the first thing you want to do is come up with your own question. You can say something like, oh, well, I was asked the other day, blah, blah, blah. Or at the Chamber of Commerce, I was asked da, 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 da. Or when I was at the Rotary Club, they asked me this. And then you proceed to answer those questions. It's important because sometimes people don't want to be the first one to raise their hand to ask a question. So this breaks the ice in your Q&A. Now, what if someone asks you something that's already been discussed in the material? You just spent an hour, 45 minutes going over all this information, and then some schmuck comes up and says, hey, what was such and such? And you're going, oh, okay. Did I not do a good job? And you can't think of anything like that at the time. What you have to do is just answer them. They might not have heard you correctly, or you just kind of raced over it. And I promise you, they're not the only person with the question for the clarification. So you're actually thankful that they asked, because you can go into more depth in the question. Now, what if someone repeats a question that's already been asked? It's like they weren't paying attention to anything and they ask the question again. You just go, I think we've already covered that. And you're very polite about it. And you just simply say, I believe that's already been answered. What if you get a question and you don't know the answer, right? The dreaded one. You go, oh, crap, right? And what you have to do is you need to be honest and just say, hey, thank you so much for the question. That's a really great one. And I'm not sure I know the answer, so I can't just answer it. But if you'll meet with me in the back after Q&A, I will be happy to get your contact information and look for the answer and get back with you. Okay, and make sure that you follow up with them because you said that you would. Now, what happens if they're back there and they're going 5, 3, 2, right? And you know that you're running out of time. Your phone is telling you, oh, only have a few more minutes. So what you do is you say, I have time for one more question. I just have enough time for one more question. And you'll either get one or you won't. And then you have your applause and you're off and running to the races. So this book, again, by Joan Detz, is a really good, powerful book for you if you have to give presentations or speeches. So highly recommend it. Never discredit a book by the year that it was written. Because you know what? Things are just recreated. And I hope that was helpful. And I want to leave you with one last thing. I am trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. Please subscribe. I'm asking for your like and your subscribe. And the only way I'm going to do it is with people like you that I'm bringing value to you. If I brought value to you, then please subscribe. Mwah! Because this channel is all about tips and tricks about business and personal life. And I hope y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye-bye.